Spider-Man and I, Deadpool, decided to do something good for once in our lives and organize a Christmas party for New York's most forgotten heroes. Everything was going well until someone came up with the brilliant idea of putting up a Christmas tree. No, not just a tree. A tree with lights, shiny ornaments, and Christmas music included. The thing is, no one was responsible enough to make sure the tree was safe. And when I say no one, I mean Spider-Man. So I guess it was my fault. Anyway, it turns out that the Christmas tree was actually an interdimensional portal. Yes, that's right. A freaking interdimensional portal inside a Christmas tree. Our party guests included the talking raccoon and walking tree known as Rocket Raccoon and Groot. We also invited Dr. Strange, the guy with the magic powers that can fix any dimensional mess. Our party guests included the talking raccoon and walking tree known as Rocket Raccoon and Groot. We also invited Dr. Strange, the guy with the magic powers that can fix any dimensional mess. But thanks to our wonderful interdimensional tree, we ended up bringing some unwanted guests to the party. The first surprise guest was Santa Claus. Yes, the real Santa Claus with his flying sleigh and everything. It turns out that our Christmas portal dragged him from the North Pole right into the living room of the apartment where we were having the party. Santa wasn't too happy about being dragged away in the middle of his job. But we offered him cookies and milk as an apology, so he calmed down a bit. The second surprise guest was a group of Christmas elves. Not the friendly and mischievous elves who help Santa in his workshop, but the evil elves who try to ruin Christmas for everyone. They emerged from the Christmas tree with evil giggles and started causing mischief all over the apartment. They threw magical snowballs that didn't melt, made our presents disappear into thin air, and changed the tree lights into a twinkling rainbow. Rocket Raccoon immediately pulled out his guns and started shooting at the goblins. Groot tried to stop him, but Rocket was determined to get revenge on them for ruining Christmas. Meanwhile, Santa Claus was busy eating our cookies and drinking our milk. Dr. Strange was trying to catch the elves with magic spells, but they seemed to be quite elusive. Spider-Man and I looked at each other, not knowing what to do. We were both responsible for this Christmas disaster, so we had to find a way to fix it. We decided to work together and use our unique abilities to stop the goblins before they cause more chaos. I jumped onto the tree and started fighting the goblins hand to hand, while Spider-Man used his webs to trap them and hold them still. After a few minutes of fighting, we finally managed to catch all the elves and return them to the Christmas tree. Rocket Raccoon was left to wonder if we could kill any of them, but we ignored him, culminating in an unforgettable night of adventure and Christmas spirit. Dr. Strange stepped forward and closed the interdimensional portal with a wave of his hand. The tree turned back into just a normal tree, all of its ornaments gone. We looked around and saw the mess we had created. The living room was covered in snow, the lights on the tree were shattered, and there were holes in the walls where Rocket had fired his weapons. Santa Claus stood up and looked at us with a stern expression on his face. We were prepared for a good scolding for ruining Christmas. But instead, Santa smiled and said, "Thanks guys. That was the best Christmas party I've had in years." We all looked at each other in surprise. It seemed like Santa Claus had really enjoyed our chaotic Christmas mess. Rocket Raccoon began to count all the buttons he had stolen from Santa's workshop while the elves were causing trouble. Groot tried to stop him again, but this time he also wanted to see what Rocket had stolen. Chaos ensued with surprise guests, including Santa and mischievous elves, culminating in an unforgettable night of adventure and Christmas spirit. Spider-Man and I looked at each other again, not knowing what to do. We had ruined Christmas, but apparently Santa Claus was happy with that. We decided to join in on the fun and help Rocket Raccoon unpack all the stolen presents. After all, it was Christmas and everyone deserved a little joy even in the midst of chaos. And so, Spider-Man and I spent the rest of the night opening presents, eating cookies and milk, even though we were out of cookies, and laughing with our new friends, Santa Claus, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, and Dr. Strange. It was a Christmas full of disasters, but it was also one of the best Christmases I've ever had. And I guess that's what happens when Spider-Man and Deadpool team up to do something good for once in their lives. Wait, wait, wait. What do you mean you don't have any more cookies? Santa Claus exclaimed, his face lighting up with a mischievous grin. Don't worry, I have a plan. Groot, come here, my friend, the man in red called. The walking tree, Groot, approached with his soft, calm voice. I'll help, he said, extending his branches toward Santa. Perfect, Groot. I need you to use your powers to create a portal to my workshop. I know it's a difficult task, but I trust you, Santa explained as he leaned against his sleigh. Perfect, Groot. I need you to use your powers to create a portal to my workshop. I know it's a difficult task, but I trust you, Santa explained as he leaned against his sleigh. Perfect, Groot. I need you to use your powers to create a portal to my workshop. I know it's a difficult task, but I trust you, Santa explained as he leaned against his sleigh. Groot stepped forward in understanding and began to concentrate, his leaves lighting up with a bright green glow. Slowly, a vortex formed before them, an opening to another dimension. Awesome, Groot. You're a genius, exclaimed Rocket Raccoon, who couldn't help but admire the tree's skill. Now, everyone, let's follow Santa. We need more cookies and milk for this party, he added with a mischievous smile. The group entered the portal, entering a world of snow and magic. Santa's workshop was a place full of life and energy. The elves worked tirelessly, creating toys and preparing gifts for Christmas Eve. Welcome to my home. Now, let's go get some more supplies. We can't let this party go without cookies. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Deadpool stood back, watching the scene in awe. I can't believe we're here, at the North Pole, with Santa Claus and his elves. This is surreal, Spider-Man said, a smile on his face. Yeah, but we can't relax. We still have to deal with those evil elves. We can't let them ruin Christmas for everyone, Deadpool replied, in his trademark sarcastic tone. At that moment, the elves appeared again, this time with a more defiant attitude. We will not go down without a fight. Christmas is ours and we will not let anyone spoil it, they shouted, throwing snowballs and creating chaos in the workshop. Spider-Man and Deadpool prepared for battle, but before they could make any move, Santa Claus and his friends were already in action. The elves, with their magical abilities, created a protective barrier around the workshop, while Rocket Raccoon and Groot took care of the goblins, using their weapons and powers to keep them at bay. The battle was intense, but finally, with everyone's help, the elves were defeated. A satisfied Santa Claus approached the heroes and thanked them for their help. Thanks to you, Christmas is safe. Now, let's go back to the party and celebrate properly. With smiles on their faces, the group returned to the party, loaded with cookies, milk, and presents. The night promised to be unforgettable, a Christmas full of adventures and unexpected friends.